Redemption story, pure vindication last night. Kyrie Irving is back in the Western Conference Finals. Well, he's never been to the Western Conference Finals, but you get what I mean. He's back in the spotlight. And it's just a whole 180. I don't care if you don't even like Dallas. And I know some of these Laker fans out here, y'all want Kyrie. Y'all still bringing that false hope. And y'all trying to, he doesn't like playing with Luka. Because you think that's going to turn it around. Find another way to get it turned around. He's not going there. But he is turned it. It's a 180, right? A year ago, they got busted for tanking. People said it wasn't going to work. Stephen A. was his biggest critic. And you can't help but to think about everything Kyrie's went through. And you see the Aaron Rodgers thing right now. Aaron Rodgers is kind of being blasted for this Tucker Carlson interview and his stance on the jab. And remember, he lied about it, right? So Kyrie refused to take it. And because of the mandate laws, which Stephen A. called out Eric Adams, he's a hypocrite. Stephen A. didn't even approve of the mandate. But he did it because he loves his job. Kyrie put his faith and his belief of his health over his job. And he was ridiculed for it, even before the whole tweet. And you did not get the same energy with Aaron Rodgers, who wasn't suspended and got caught lying. The NFL did not, the Green Bay Packers did not suspend Aaron Rodgers at all. And Stephen A. has always had this infatuation with Aaron Rodgers. I don't even think he's ever met the guy, which is crazy. Unlike the guys he grew up reporting on, like Allen Iverson, for example, who he came up in Philadelphia. That was the rise of his career. Never met Aaron Rodgers. It kind of just started off with him trolling Skip Bayless, and Aaron Rodgers was the heir apparent to Brady. So it was like, he's a bad man. But he didn't treat the bad man the way he treated Kyrie Irving. Was in reality, Rodgers was the bad man, because at least Kyrie kept it a buck and was like, no, I'm not vaxxed, and it is what it is. Now, this is Stephen A. Smith on his podcast defending Aaron Rodgers, and basically you see the difference in his stance and how he treated Rodgers and apparent how he treated the Kyrie Irving.
Can say anything definitively. I took the vaccine. Hell, I encouraged others to do it by doing PSAs and stuff like that. Fair enough. Others that disagreed with me, however, I can't knock them. They have the reasons for having their feelings. Aaron Rodgers is entitled to that. Just like Tucker Carlson is entitled to that. Just like folks like Chris Cuomo and others are entitled to change their minds once they've learned more and more about the facts. Popular podcaster Patrick Bet-Davis spoke about these things too. We learn more and more and more as we go on. The one thing that we're able to deduce from all of this, and we must peel from all of this, is that whether you agree with him or disagree with him, Aaron Rodgers is not stupid. He's not senseless. He's not the insensitive dude that people have excoriated him as being. And at least some of what he says, if not a lot more than some of it, gets attached with enough legitimacy to it that it will make you at least say it's something we need to discuss.
Now, as you see, he's got all these, Aaron Rodgers is insensitive. He's defending him. He's really in defense mode. But he called Kyrie idiotic when he wanted to trade. He called him stupid. He called him a part-time player. He said that he thinks Kyrie Irving should retire. I mean, he used every negative adjective you could describe, you could use to describe Kyrie's character, but never said anything of any of that type of disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, because he knows there's consequences with that. And Jay Williams, who I don't think has been on First Take in probably about a year now, he might be home collecting checks because they did cancel the show with him and Keyshawn and Max Kellerman. But there's a reason why you stopped seeing Jay Williams on First Take, because he was the one person that was willing to stand up and defend Kyrie Irving. Now they'll rather put Shannon Sharpe on there and talk basketball. And Shannon's never dribbled a basketball professionally in his life, but they'll have him up there. Yeah, Stephen A. Yeah. But they won't put Jay Williams on there because Jay Williams kept it a buck.
Makes me think of Kyrie Irving. So that being said, how does the Rodgers situation compare to Kyrie's?
It doesn't. They are drastically different.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is exponentially worse. There was not only a lie, there was an intent to lie. And just a couple of things for you, Stephen A., because we obviously have this gripe. I have this gripe with you. Because
it's both of us.
Yeah, it's fine. I wrote down some things that you said here.
Sure.
So 3.5 weeks ago, you said it amounts to betrayal for Kyrie. You said, quote, flat out stupid as relates to what he's doing. Quote, bad teammate. Quote, selfish. October 16th on CNN. To the hell with you. You say all these things about Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie Irving was very upfront and honest about what his situation was. Mm-hmm. He wasn't jeopardizing anybody else. He didn't put anybody else on the Brooklyn Nets and their team at risk. When he was allowed to be around the team, he had his mask on. He abided by all the rules. But he was subject to mass criticism by you, animated criticism by you. Mm-hmm. And then I'm in a green room and I watch you and I see your points that you had against Aaron Rodgers, and I appreciate the stance by calling him a liar. I just didn't feel the same venom. I didn't feel the same energy that was associated with Kyrie Irving. And a part of me wonders why. How come you don't hold Aaron Rodgers to the same, who lied on national, look, reporters in the.
Jay Williams, when he was on First Take still as a regular, and he was basically telling Stephen A., like, man, you a hypocrite. And it was not the same energy at all when you called out Kyrie, who just refused to do it. And now Stephen A., a couple years later, he looks like he's changing his political stance. He's pro-Republican again. He's now speaking out against the vax, even though he took it. And now it's like, now you want to change your energy. But when Kyrie didn't want to, he should just take it and shut up, and he's being selfish. Just ridiculous, man. It's like, damn, like, what is, like, they pay you a lot of money to protect certain athletes. It's obvious because he is not nearly as critical. It's a different level of criticism that he just had. It's like it just rolls off his tongue so smoothly. He just, the way you seen it a few weeks ago when he tried to call the league office, telling them that he thinks Russell Westbrook should be suspended. I'm like, now hold up, you are getting out of your boundaries as a reporter when you start doing stuff like that, aren't you? Who are you to be calling league officers about certain? Do you think did you call the NFL when Aaron Rodgers lied about being vaccinated? I doubt it. I doubt it if you gave Roger Goodell and them a call at Park Avenue in New York. I doubt it. You know, but it's just his attitude and demeanor towards white athletes are just different. And now, you know, it's so clearly obvious how much he has moonwalked his comments in this. Because if you're going to defend Aaron Rodgers like that, you not only need to apologize to how you treated Kyrie Irving, but you should defend him too. Because you look at Rodgers like he's some type of a hero who stood up against society. But you look down on Kyrie Irving, who basically did the same thing, but he didn't have to lie about it. You know, he didn't have to put up fancy words because Aaron Rodgers thinks he's the smartest person in the room wherever he goes. He thinks he's smarter than he is. And he just basically lied. Like, you know, they let it slide. And I'm like, everybody else was getting suspended over this. And people was getting fake vax cards. That whole era was wild. Remember AB got caught, him and a couple of guys from the Bucks, because they had the fake vaccine cards. Like, that's a wild time. It feels like that was forever ago, and that was only 2 years ago. You know, so Stephen A. is going to do him. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit the like button. I'm out.